Hello, hello. Today we're going to start with a stretch getting into a jumping prep. Now, if you are somebody who hasn't actually jumped in quite a while, whether that's because of an illness or just having taken a long hiatus, this is intended to be nice and chill and ease you back into it. So it's not going to be the most intense thing in the whole wide world. This is just something to get you started. So let's go ahead and get started standing on a mat, because that can be nicer for our feet, or a carpet, or whatever. We won't need any real equipment today. And you're just gonna have your hands at your sides, feet under your hips. Let's start with some head rolls in whichever direction you feel like you wanna start with. Going nice and slow. And if you're feeling especially tight, we can make this kind of small, or if you're feeling good, you can make it bigger. Let's finish this circle and go the other way. And you might notice that one side has a little bit more to say than the other. That's okay, just pay attention to it and modify if you need to. Let's go ahead and finish this circle and come back to center. Next, let's go ahead and breathe our arms up. You're gonna grab one wrist, inhale up and over. Inhale back to center, switch your grip, other side, up and over. Inhale back to center, take your hands out wide, reach your hands back behind you like you're trying to touch your hands behind you, stretching out your chest. You can lift your chin if that feels okay. If you want to roll out your wrists, you can do that now. Good. Go ahead and let that go. Take some gentle swings of the arms from side to side. If you want to, you can shift your weight from side to side. Maybe even kick your heels up toward your butt. And then when you're ready, let's come back to center. We're going to move our chest around a little bit. So go ahead and arch your ribs, flare your chest up, and then collapse it in. And you're gonna open your chest and close your chest. So thinking about kind of lifting and arching your back and slumping and lift and slump and lift and slump. And then next we're gonna go side to side. So you're gonna scoot your shoulders over to the side and then the other side. And if this feels super awkward and strange, don't worry about it. Sometimes new movements feel awkward and strange at the beginning, and they take a little more practice. And then let's go ahead and just roll out your chest a little bit. So you're gonna open your chest, go to the side, go to the back, go to the side, and open. Again, if it feels super weird, don't worry about it too much. Keep the movement as small as you need so that you can control it. And when you're ready, let's switch sides. Open to the other side, to the back, to the side, open, side, and back. And if you want to keep it sectional, you can. If you want to smooth it out, you can. Very nice. Go ahead and release. Wiggle it out, shake it off. Next, you're going to take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Hands are going to be on your hips. Push your hips around in a big, big circle. Or if you're feeling very stiff, a small, small circle. Up to you. You can keep your legs straight or your knees a little bit soft here. Depends on what's comfortable. Let's finish this circle and go around the other way. Awesome. Let's come back to center and then kick your heels up towards your butt. If your balance doesn't feel great today, take your hand to a chair, a wall, a dresser, something to help support you so that you don't have to worry about feeling really topsy-turvy. Now these kicks will help to prepare our knees for our landing, for our jumps later. Here I want you to think about not so much as being really intense and trying to do the most, but just letting yourself get a little bit more active, try on this movement and see how it goes. Doesn't have to have any particular attachment related to it. We're just gonna see how it goes today. All right, last thing that we're gonna do to prep our knees, you're gonna take your hands, you can keep your hands at your hips or at your knees, and we're gonna stretch our knees out. So you're gonna push your knees a little bit forward, a little bit side, a little bit around. From the side, that looks like this, little forward, little side, and around. If you're feeling like when you push your knees forward, you just hit a wall or anything hurts, make that circle super duper small. We don't get anything out of stretching if we're just going up to the part that's tight and punching it in the face. You can just dial back, find a circle size that works for you where nothing feels unpleasant, and then eventually it will get bigger over time. Let's change sides. And let's do 3 more. And you might notice that you have a little bit more room as we come into our last one. That will be cool if that was the case. All right, go ahead and stand up. Check in, make sure you're good to keep going. Wiggle it out. And then we're gonna get into our jumps. Now, the most important part of any type of jumping is actually going to be our landing. So that is where we're going to start. So here I want you to think about when we're landing from a jump, our knees aren't just going forward. That will hurt our ankles and hurt our knees, and we're not actually using our hips to do anything, and they're just hanging out with nothing to do. So when we're landing, we want to think about our hips go back and our knees go forward. So our weight stays really centered over our feet, and we can get a nice little bounce going. So we're just gonna start with this bounce. Think soft knees, hips back, soft knees, hips back. That's all we're gonna do. Bouncy, bouncy, bounce. Now, this might be where you stay for the day. You might bounce for a bit, you might stop, and then bounce again. That's cool. I like that. If you wanna keep going, we're gonna go into a little pop up and down, and up and down. So our feet aren't leaving the ground yet. We're just getting comfortable with the rock yourself up and drop, rock yourself up and drop. And if you want to make that happen a little faster, you can try that. So this is basically all the parts of jumping other than leaving the ground. So we're soft, we go up, we go down, and up, down, and up, down. And then, if you need a break from that, feel free to take one. If you're ready to keep going, you want to do a little more than that, let's go a little bounce, bounce, hop, and hop. Doesn't have to be high. If your toes barely leave the ground or don't leave the ground at all, that's fine. Everybody had to start somewhere, and everywhere is good if it works. Taking deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, and let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take a break from that. Shake it out. If your knees feel pretty intense, kick your heels up toward your butt. And then we're going to do that one more time. You can do whichever variation works for you. Or you can try, if you were doing one of the earlier variations, you can try one of the more advanced ones. Let's go again. Soft knees, bouncy bounce. You can either start hopping or stick with that bounce, or your feet don't even leave the ground. Pick one, doesn't matter. You might do this multiple times and find that you're at different variations and different days, and that's cool too. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you're done. Let's go ahead and take a big breath in. Inhale up. Exhale, fold it down, keeping your knees as soft as they need. Inhale, rolling on up. Breathing your arms up, grab one wrist, lift up and over. Back to center. Other side, up and over. Back to center. Breathe in and exhale down. And soft knees rolls you up. Inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale, bring your hands behind you. You might grab onto your hands or wrists or forearms. We're just gonna grab onto whatever we can. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, lift your chin. And go ahead and come back to center. Let your hands go. Interlace your fingers in front of you. Push your hands away from you, shoulders down, chin to your chest. If you want, you can roll your head a little from side to side. Go ahead and let that go. Shake it off. Wiggle it out. And you're done. I hope that that was fun and or tolerable. And I hope you have a really good day.